scoreboard 1-0 now. 12-minute goal scored by Keegan Woolley.
Yep.
UMX's goal. Scored by number 21, Daniel Stevens, in the 14th minute.
Things heating up over inside the stadium between Kingdom FC and Dortmund. That match now tied at 1. Kingdom FC goal scored by Daniel Stephen in the 13th minute. 1-1 tie inside the stadium.
We've got 15 minutes before this game starts.
If you guys have a way to do that that you think is manageable, because if this purgatory is okay, if you guys think that that's manageable, you can make that happen. Why not? Yeah, why not? That would be good. Okay. Okay, awesome.
Yellow card on Dortmund on number 6, Adam Mercy, in the 15th minute.
All right, well, thanks, guys. I will be on the other end of the line.
About 10 minutes away from action on field 4 here at TST. Group B matchup between DMV Diplomats and Wolves set to get underway at 9:30. folks, Bobby Knight will be judging a chair throwing contest over on the concourse at 11 a.m. this morning. One of the stats. Just a little Hoosier humor for you this morning. Pair of matches set to get underway here at the soccer tournament at 9:30. Once again, field 4, DMV Diplomats preparing for a big match with Wolverhampton. On field 5, 9:30 kick between Blading Grass FC and Villita. On field 3 at the half, Newtown Pride FC 1, Hoosier Army 0.
Scored by number 21. Daniel Stephen in the 20th minute.
Things getting interesting inside the stadium. 20th minute goal scored by Kingdom FC's Daniel Stephen. Stephen already with a brace on the day for Kingdom FC as they lead Dortmund 2-1. Kingdom FC and Dortmund officially at the half. 2-1 in favor of Kingdom FC inside the stadium.
TST will be using target score time at the conclusion of today's game. At the end of the second half, a target score will be set by adding 1 to the leading team's goal count. The first team to reach that target score wins. The Greater Raleigh Sports Alliance welcomes all the teams and fans in attendance for this historic event. Check out visitraleigh.com for all the info you'll need to enjoy your time in Cary.
Guys, come here for a second.
Renegade GK is thrilled to be a part of TST because, like us, this tournament is exciting and different. Come check us out and take advantage of the special 20% TST discount on all Renegade GK clubs. Fans, be sure to check out the soccer.com merchandise tent located near the event entrance. There you can purchase all your official TST and team apparel on site. North Carolina FCU is proud to have current and former coaches, players, and staff participating in TST. Visit ncfcyouth.com to learn more about soccer programs for kids of all ages and abilities.
Once again, Dortmund and Kingdom FC currently at the half inside the stadium. 2-1 lead for Kingdom FC. Next match inside the stadium will be on field 2, scheduled for 10:30. West Ham of the EPL in action as the East Enders take their bubbles onto the pitch, take on Culture by Mo Ali FC. Once again, that's 10:30 on Stadium Field 2. Group D action, West Ham and Culture by Mo Ali FC.
Probably worth telling them. Thank you.
Wide array of kits on display here at TST. You can pick up some cool gear at the soccer.com merchandise location.
It's day 2 of the soccer tournament, and we welcome you to the WakeMed Sports Soccer Complex for this matchup in the third round of Group B. To wrap things up, the knockout rounds start later this evening. 7-on-7 for 7 figures. The DMV Diplomats and Wolves to wrap up Group B play. Blade and Grass out in front. They've got 2 wins. They'll finish with Villita FC. Wolves, who fell to Villita in their first game, will try to recover after losing a close one to Blade and Grass in game 2. A win would go a long way for those from the Beltway, DC, Maryland, Virginia. That's the acronym around the DMV Diplomats, and they've played 2 solid games so far with their Chilean contingent and former college and pro players. They'll look today to Miroslav Stok, who's got a sledgehammer of a shot. 4 goals on day 1 and a hat trick in a very convincing win in the evening match. That was game 2 against Villita, a 6-2 victory. Former Czech international ready to shine on day 2 with the sun coming out. And Wolverhampton, a club that's been in the Premier League going back to 2018 for 5 consecutive years of top flight football, and they've brought over a mix in their roster. Some fantastic players in the last decade, some young stars, and some from here in the States that have earned their way through a trial and competition. Bakary Sacco, though, knows the Molyneux very well. Just in 2 seasons, put up 36 goals in 118 games. And the number 10, still at the ripe old age of 35, with a career all over Europe, and the Mali national team will look to make hay. Wolves need to win. They need to do so by a considerable amount of goals and then get help from Blade and Grass. We'll fill you in on the possibilities coming out of Group B with the round of 16 starting later this evening. But to familiarize once more with the rules of the soccer tournament in its inaugural year and second day of match competition. 7-on-7, 20-minute halves. No offside or throw-ins, no slide tackling. Every game ends in target score time, and some fascinating aspects to that last feature that came into play yesterday all across the grounds here in the soccer triangle of Cary, North Carolina, just outside of downtown Raleigh. The target score time. To review the leading team score, you add 1. The first to that number wins. But the caveat, of course, is a player is removed every 5 minutes. And it whittled down yesterday in 1 match to 2 field players aside. And it's been a learning process for Wolves, especially. A lot of the big name clubs have been humbled in their first couple of games. They've played 7-on-7 in training, but not with the dimensions of this field. Maybe those who have played beach soccer or futsal or indoor have had the upper hand. Also the camaraderie of maybe playing together. And that's what makes this such a fascinating event. And off with a plum. Group B has had great competition. DMV at 1-1, hoping to find their way through. Very unfortunate circumstance, of course, last night. You may have heard the news of Dallas United's disqualification for a racial incident in their match with West Ham United. They have been disqualified. They have forfeited their match against Far East United. And the players here standing in solidarity of putting an end to racism in the game. And we're ready to go. In Group B, the finale of 3. 2 matches in one day, and some of these wise old veterans had to laugh and say they weren't expecting the level to which they needed to play at, and it was an eye-opener for Wolves in that first game against Villita. But responded well, came up shy against Blade and Grass. Falling down is the back line of Claudio Muñez. Those Chileans, they are so hungry, cagey, and tenacious in front of goalkeeper Robert Moas in the DMV goal. They're in the black and the red. Harry Burgoyne, the 26-year-old goalkeeper. That beautiful gold and black of Wolves. Sacco gonna drive inside. Bakari Sacco, that is special. Light a match, we're off and running a minute in. And Wolves to the front. Well, right away, head coach Darren Ryan managing the team, the director of player development, pointed to him on the roster, said he needs to have a big game. That's not really a surprise when you look at a player of his pedigree and where you're going to find your sustenance. So 45 seconds in, and Wolves lead. Mark Gonzalez trying to respond and had a good look at it. Just wide for the 38-year-old Católica Colo Colo. Mayanes in his native Chile, also played in Spain and a little bit with Liverpool. Really good resume on that career. Sacco looking for more. Oniyange was the man he was trying to target. Dalton Pando provides pressure for DMV. Jorge Alvial, the Chilean, longtime scout for Chelsea. The DMV coach, that foul occurring right out in front of him. He has really been pleased with the performances of his team through the first 2 matches.
Lots of great action on display yesterday. We are using a target score time format to decide the winner of each game.
They will play from behind. They played from behind in their opener against Blade and Grass, got it even, and then fell in target score time on a Jeff Cameron goal. And then Miroslav Stock lit up the scoreboard at night against Villita.
Target score will be 3.
Club with a lot of MASL indoor players. They put on a show and humbled the team that beat Wolves by a 6-2 count. Sacco again. looking inside to smash that.
As 32 teams.
He's been able to get to the interior. He still looks like he could go a full 90. Striding and gliding around Mark Gonzalez. Goulbourne. What a long time Wolves man, 11 clubs and 3 loans in a 15-year career, but he spills it at the top of the penalty area. And it's cleared the length by the Diplomats. That nickname a nod to the iconic NASL club, Johan Cruyff, playing there in the tail end of his career in the early 80s. Simultaneous kickoffs, including in Group B of note, Blade and Grass v. to scoreless. Wolves, they need goals, they need a victory, and they need help. And they're off to the start they want after the Sacco goal in the first minute. Neil Sika and our great crew having some fun. Great to be with you again for day 2 of the TST. Here's Sacco. Onienge, Prince Onienge at 34. A lot of his career in his native France, but was with the Wolves in the championship in 2017 and 18. 41 appearances for Congo. Sacco sliced that off the top of Mark Gonzalez's boot. Sacco made his seasons at the Molineux memorable. Here's the championship best 11 performer team of the year twice in 14 and 15, his 2 seasons in Wolverhampton. Trying to find Stoke with that pass, but tough to come by. Wolves very well organized, and they've controlled the tempo through the opening 6 minutes. Game 3 in Group B. Nice turn by Zeli Ishmael. And here's Sacco on one touch, trying to redirect that. Moas denies him with the kick save. Robert Moas got in late the day before their morning opener against Blade and Grass. He was through the Dortmund Academy in college soccer here in the U.S. Finished at Duke after starting at Binghamton. Made some big stops in that Blade and Grass game, their opener, to start the soccer tournament. Goal scorer is Sacco. Scott Goulbourne. Onienge. Now Leon Clark. Sacco at the byline and then put it on the welcome mat. Was hoping someone would make the run, but Sacco has been all over the place, doing what he wants in the opening 8 minutes. Amardo Oakley cut that off. He has had a nice tournament so far. He popped up into good spots. He broke up the play defensively. DMV, they've moonlighted a bit in the attack. Dalton Pando has scored a couple of goals in the competition. Played his college ball at UC Santa Barbara. And the lower divisions here in the U.S., South Georgia Tormenta, his last stop in USL 2, which is the 4th division. Didn't have to wait long to break the ice here in Game 3. We're on day 2, Group B, wrapping up the group stages this morning and afternoon. Sacco 45 seconds in. Gonzalez. First time there was really room to roam in transition. Mark Gonzalez. Brazil and Russia also in that mix. Sacco swings that in quickly. Gabriel Gonzalez won the Golden Chance tryout here in America to be a part of this Wolves roster. Was the intended target. Meanwhile, Burgoyne with a stop. First good look DMV has had. 1-2 combination with Goulbourne. Scott Goulbourne, once upon a time, was an England Youth International, U17s and 19s. Last played for Shrewsbury Town 2 seasons ago. Pando. Gonzalez, we play 20-minute halves. Mentioning those smaller-sided teams, like playing adult leagues, amateur football, and are used to more of a game like this, it's going to be really interesting to see those of the professional pedigree, like a Wolves, how they've went to school through their first 2 games and expecting them to try and pass the test in game 3. So far they are, but they know they're going to need more than one to see themselves play later this evening and get a crack to go at Sunday with a 7-figure prize, $1 million. Here in the TST, Sacco, that's a pretty pass. That's a better stop by Mois. Fuenzalida leads it into the attack for DMV. It's the Slovakian Miroslav Stok. Rolled that pass over to Jack Hodnett. He's a member of the Wolves Academy all the way from U15 to 23. Number 28 on the field in gold is going to have a trial after this TST with the Charleston Battery down in the USL. He's shown well, and that's another idea behind the opportunities this competition provides. Onienge, Sacco, smacking it from the halfway line. Justin Lee now out there. Unlimited substitutions, and they do them on the fly. Akin to what you would see on a hockey shift. Upfield, Gonzalez took a crack at that. Mois able to settle it down, looking to hit that volley. On a razor field switch, Pando. Just the type of scrappy forward at the spear of that attack to help provide some pressure. Lee back to Mois, the DMV keeper, trying to play to safe harbor. Richard Stearman, the captain, 35-year-olds, with 229 appearances with Wolves. He committed that foul off the shove. Where's the armband? Fuenzalida. Still moving well at 38. Played 265 games at Católica, 155 at Colo Colo. There's a golden ball winner. He wears 19 for DMV. Claudio Munoz looking for Pando, and it's off the post, and he follows it anyway. (1-1) in the 14th minute. Pando wasn't sure at first. Kissing off the far stick. And follows it up for good measure. But a great delivery on the cross. Just referencing his hunger to play up top with this group. He's the perfect fit for Jorge Alveol. That's his second goal in the group stages. Sacco. Gonzalez was a parking block there, and then Sacco gave it a rip. Right back on the attack. Wolves had been quelled for a bit. DMV found a little bit more of a groove and made the adjustments to settle things down after Sacco was getting on the end of everything in the opening 7 minutes. The corner after that save by Mois. The cross is errant. DMV came into Group B today, sitting in second. Actually with the best goal differential because of their win over Vita. And they know they're in a really good spot if they win, because they beat Vita, so head-to-head the first tiebreak. They can't overtake B&G because that's their lone loss, but a win secures them into the round of 16. They're going to mark this just outside the top of the box. There was a shove up front. Now Bakary Sacco stands to not only the top of the penalty area, this is also where penalties are taken in this competition. I haven't seen one today. Sacco slices that through the wall. Great reaction by Mois. He keeps it 1-1.
End of regulation on field 3, Newtown FC leads Hoosier Army 2-0. We'll move to target.
Stephen Hunt.
The target score is 3.
The Silver Fox, 41-year-old, 7 clubs in 17 years.
Target score time. Each side will drop 1 player, so we'll go from 7-on-7 to 66.
2 seasons with Wolves, he scored 7 goals
Target score 3.
in 56 matches.
Field 3, Newtown
39 times he played for Ireland, including a Euro a decade ago in 2012. Not going to have any added time, we're told, here in the first half. Just over 2 minutes remaining in it. 45 seconds in Sacco. Pando had the answer. About 8 minutes later for DMV. That's another block. Positioning defensively of these defenders for the Diplomats, especially the Chileans, it's always been in their DNA. Putting out fire after fire. Now trying to contend with Sacco. Airmails that, trying to bend it. He claims there was a deflection.
Taking in the action here as well, above field 3. Thanks for joining us.
Final game in Group B. Just like you would see in a World Cup. Matches being played simultaneously. There's no staggered 10 to 15 minute kickoffs. That was the case for much of yesterday in the first 2 games of the group stage. "71 degrees. The sun makes its strong appearance. A scattered shower or 2 throughout, but expecting similar weather today. Possibility of a pop-up, but 2 games, maybe some tired legs. That should make for some interesting theater here in the 3rd game. Another shot for Sacco. He's stockpiling them. Wolves have 11 shots, 4 on target.
In that match taking place over on field
5 shots for the Diplomats. We hit the 20-minute mark. It's halftime. Bakary Sacco has been a man on a mission, scoring 45 seconds in. Dalton Pando popping a header off the post and then knocking the rebound in. DMV trying to take a drive into the second round. Wolves trying to keep their hopes alive. A good one here in the Group B finale. 1-1 at the half.
Target score time on field 3. The target score is 3. The current score, Newtown 2. Hoosier Army 0. First team to 3 will be the victor on field number 3. Target score is 3.
Kingdom goal by number 7, Alex Ramos. And fans, that's the end of the game. The final score, Kingdom FC 7, Borussia Dortmund 1. And Kingdom FC is now 4 wins away from winning $1 million. And fans, coming up next on Field 2 at 10:30 a.m., Culture by Mo Ali FC takes on West Ham. Once again, that's Field 2, 10:30 a.m., Culture by Mo Ali FC taking on West Ham.
A final from inside the stadium. Kingdom FC defeats Dortmund by a score of 7-1. The match winner scored by Alex Ramos and assisted by Adam Abdullahi. 7-1. Kingdom FC takes down Dortmund Kingdom FC moves to 2-1 in the competition. Dortmund falls to 0-3.
Jak hrajú henty, nevíte? Lebo oni hrajú takisto, tá naša skupina. A nehrajú tu? To sú není oni. Však do piči, ale však ja neviem, no.
Field 3, Hoosier Army on the board. 2-1 now the score in favor of Newtown Pride. Target score is 3. First to 3 will be the victor on Field 3. Newtown Pride 2, Hoosier Army 1. Sparks finds the back of the net for Hoosier Army. The time is now 10:01. Next match inside the stadium set to kick at 10:30. A Group D tilt between West Ham of the EPL and Culture by Mo Ali FC. That match kicks on Stadium Field 2 at 10:30. And that is the match winner, put into the back of the net by Newtown Pride FC. Your final score on Field 3, Newtown Pride FC 3, Hoosier Army 1.
Halftime, Game 3, Group B. 1-1, Wolves, DMV. See the shot count for Wolverhampton, 11. Sacco with 4 on goal, including the first of the day, 45 seconds in. Dalton Pando helping the Diplomats respond. They've been very diplomatic in their approach through 3 games. Played hard, looked the part. Jorge Alvial, their head coach, said yesterday we trained together for the first time. It felt like we'd been playing 6 months as a group. A win, and they'll find themselves in the round of 16. Blade and Grass leading Villita. You saw the scores to start to begin this second half. The team switching sides. There's drama potentially brewing in Group A with Newtown Pride just wrapping up a victory over Hoosier Army, who had won their first 2 games. That was quite the hit from Clay Silvas. Initially was going to start and then came off the bench. The 25-year-olds from outside of Sacramento, was in the Toluca Academy down in Mexico. There's what's going on right now at the half. Blade and Grass about to get back underway. But the big news, Kingdom FC, which has won twice, and they won by 6 over Borussia Dortmund. An iconic German club, a rough go of it through their 3 matches. Marred by a couple of red cards in their loss yesterday to Newtown Pride. And you've got 3 teams with 2 victories. Have a look at the head-to-head tiebreaker first, and then goal differential. We'll sort that out, and we'll update you. When the math is complete. But 1-1 here. Wolves need a few more. They need to win by 4 based on the goal differential. After losing to Vita, they're getting what they need out of that other game with Blade and Grass leading by a goal. Sacco starting the second half like he did the first, with plenty of shots. 1 on target, then 1 is slid to the middle. And 1 that Leon Clark's going to want back. 22 clubs for Clark. 38-year-old. Was on the PFA Team of the Year twice in his career in League One and the Championship. Went on 13 loans in his career. Sacco, he's been the nucleus. They've tried to play him on every opportunity in the attacking half. Here's Stoke. He can smash it. Burgoyne at the ready. Played a 40 minutes here in the second half, and then target score time. Goalborn. No trouble for Moas. He'll bowl it out. Stoke looking to hit that pass. Split the defenders like an axe to a log, but Onienge does a nice job to break it up for Wolves. Richard Stearman. Here's Clark. Trying to connect. Scored 16 goals on 2 spells at Wolves. And on the play back into the box, they call for a handball. Not given. And things roll along with Stoke. A 17-year professional career for the Slovakian. Nitra, his starting club, got him to Chelsea, but he only played 4 matches there. Jack Hodnett, academy player who's shown well in this 7-on-7 competition, the soccer tournament. Final matches in the group. Quite the 2 saves by Moas, once and then twice. Leon Clark walking in and saying, nice to meet you. Never got a look at a third. Robert Moas has had a fine tournament. There's Amardo Oakley. He scored the first goal for DMV in the group stages yesterday morning. Jorge Alvial has really liked what he's provided. Stearman. Sacco. Clark. It's hot net. Fuenzalida. Chop that down, and now on the move. Long-time Chilean international denied by Burgoyne as he broke in. Jose Fuenzalida. Restarts play. Stock. Pando. Erased by Stearman back through the middle. Mois looking to pick out Stoke. There's Sacco. He has been the alpha dog. No surprise there. A magnet for the ball. Stearman shaves that away with Silvas inside. And a corner for DMV.
Good match over on field 5. Leading Grass FC with a 1-0.
Momentum is swung back and forth. Wolves got off to the fast start. DMV settling in. Stoke wanted more runners. It's a bowling ball of a man. And so much power when that ball comes off his foot. 4 goals entering play in the final game of the group stage. This very first edition of the TST intensifies on day 2. Who will advance? Make the knockout stages.
In the 27th minute, red card shown to Morales in the 27th
Get to the quarterfinals for Saturday.
resulting in a disqualification.
Semifinals also played, and then Sunday you've got the championship final on CNBC. Just over 10 minutes remaining here before target score time. Stoke. There's Oakley, Burgoyne, and Fuenzalida. Pinballed around a bit. But Burgoyne secures it. You're getting to the point, too. The Wolves throw caution to the wind. They know they need to win by multiple goals. Sure, a victory would be nice after the first 2 losses in the group stage, but beyond pride, they want to play for more.
Very competitive match going here on field 4. DMV Diplomats and Wolves
Goulbourne.
still tied at 1.
It's got it around for Sacco and Mois. As ESP, he knows where Sacco's going to load up and fire. Stearman, that's impressive, jumped in front of Stoke. Now you get the feeling the tempo, the intensity going to ratchet up. Leon Clark off Claudio Munoz.
DMV Diplomats were 1-1 thus far in TST competition. Wolves looking for their first win this week.
Zeli Ishmael off Pando, got it back. There's Clark on the near stick, taps home the redirection, and Wolves recapture the lead with 10 minutes left in regulation.
Wolves on the board on field 4. They take the lead over DMV Diplomats 2-1.
So they are alive and well. They need more. but the plot thickens. With Wolverhampton taking to the lead, and you can see Blade and Grass a slim edge over Villita. That being played on field 5. This is field 4. That cross inside. Oakley. Nifty out of the traffic. Pando! Stolk was sitting on it. That is well defended at the last second to break it up. Looked like Gabriel Gonzalez was the one who cut that out. And he'll slice it toward the DMV sideline. Christopher Eagles has the goal for Blade and Grass in that narrow lead over Villita. It's going to bring out a yellow. Another yellow has come out. Normally in the World Cup, you'd see 2 cautions lead to accumulation suspension. You can get 3 through the group stage here before you have to miss a match.
Wrapped up just a few moments ago on field 3 as Newtown Clyde defeated Hoosier Army by a score of 3-1.
The goal differential was 3. Villita and Wolves at the bottom of the Group B standings.
Featuring the U.S. women as they take on Homer 1907 of Italy.
Wolves need 2 more. And they need things to hold up with Blade and Grass leading Villita. So the dust settles off the cautions, and Richard Stearman puts things back in the attack. Gabriel Gonzalez through the wickets of Moas, and extremely lucky that didn't skid her in. Wolves fans imploring them to continue going forward. Off the corner, Cesar Ochoa has gotten into the mix for Wolves. Here's Stoke. What a backdoor find for Pando. Late arriving. He applauds. He's the DMV goal scorer. 6 minutes till target score time. Wolves by a goal. Gonzalez suffers the foul. They call Munoz for it. And things continue to get interesting. Sacco's going to stand over it with Wolves a 2-1 advantage. Third one here, and mischief really comes to life. Did you even see it? It might be through the back of the net.
Wolves back on the board as they lead DMV Diplomats.
Absolute thunderbolt from Bakari Sacco. And Wolverhampton with a 3-1 lead. Any combination of 4 with Villita. And they could pull the rabbit out of the hat and find themselves in the second spot. Blade and Grass in position to take all 3 of their group stage matches. Stoke. Pinball effect. And then going back across for Pando. Nervy moments for the Diplomats after they had gotten things even, but now it's very uncomfortable. And Sacco, he is a one-man wrecking crew with his goals today. Going at Gonzalez, and they've got the Chilean for the foul. Their scrappy aggression. So often it's applauded, sometimes it can get them into trouble. And asking Jorge Alvial about that, the pride in which they defend. Sometimes when you're born in an environment where you're fighting for your food, you're not giving in at all. Sacco's not giving in either. Oakley took it away and then gave it right up. Glorious chance for Miles Wolder. He grew up in the Swedish Academy Lunds BK. Wolves team that's short-sighted too, with a little bit of an injury issue coming into this last game of the group stage. The big one, Darius Vassell tearing his Achilles in training the day before the group stages got going. The 42-year-old, one-time Premier League player. 2 minutes till target score time. We'll see if anything's added on. Wolves got out 2v2 and another call with Munoz on the tackle. Brought down Gabriel Gonzalez just outside the penalty area. Sacco got spiked away by the DMV defense, single-handedly trying to take Wolves into the knockout rounds. Clark almost made it a 4th. The combination of goals right now between this game and Blade and Grass and Villita has gotten their goal differential on even terms. And beyond these first and second tie breaks, with this corner that goes across the face of goal, it's total goals scored. And Villita has 8 in that regard. Not there yet. Wolves know they need more, but if they can keep it the way it is and then win target score time, they might not even need that because they've got their 4th. Zeli Ishmael. And it's all coming together for Wolverhampton in the final minutes. 1 minute of added time, and they've gone up 4-1. Out of the Wolves Academy, he's now 29. Spent his youth in Albania, only appeared 9 times for the first team, went on 5 loans. He'll be appearing in their highlight videos in the final game in Group B. Stoke takes a smack at it. It is fascinating, the turn of events. This was a 1-1 game entering the last 10 minutes, and Wolves have 3. Sacco has scored twice, Clark and Zele Ishmael. And we'll go to target score time. But look at what has happened on field 5 in the other match. Vieita has scored. So Wolves still need a goal to secure that possibility of moving forward. Jorge Alvial, his group, to say the least, looks a little stunned. 4-1 Wolverhampton will play to 5. That's the target score. This is the longtime scout for Chelsea. 9 years there, 3 at Manchester United. A lot of influence, too, in bringing players to Major League Soccer, including incomparable Guillermo Berroscolotto from Boca Juniors, and changing around the course of MLS's original franchise. So he's had a hand in all of it. Needs a hand in helping them get to the knockout rounds. Darren Ryan is the director of player development at Wolves. He's coached really in every level of the academy. Affable gent with a passion for the game. Has really enjoyed this competition. His team, it was always a possibility, but trying to do the unthinkable at the start of this final match in Group B. Here's your target score situation in the TST. Lead team score +1. That's 4 for Wolves. So 5. Player removed every 5 minutes. The referee keeps the time on the fields and will make that call. So Wolves, they've moved their goal differential to -1. That's the second tiebreak after head-to-head. And that's where they need Blade and Grass to win. It could all be moot anyway, even if they get the goal here, because Vieita would have 2 victories, and then that could overturn and take DMV out of the mix. So there are a lot of scenarios still with how this goes. Next goal wins in that matchup on field 5, and we'll keep it right up there for you. Bakary Sacco.
They're headed to target score time. Target score is 2.
Has been instrumental in seeing Wolverhampton get to this spot. Miroslav Stock has found it not quite like the first 2 matches with his 4 goals. He's had a couple of shots, but Wolves really turned the screws the last 10 minutes of this game 3 of Group B. Sacco, his international career featured in 2 Africa Cup of Nations in 2015 and 17. He's still active and playing. Levadiakos in Greece, the Super League. So DMV needs to kick it in overdrive. They need 4 goals here, or the curtain could come down. As Wolves and Vieita are both on the precipice of sneaking into that second spot, and Blade and Grass trying to stay perfect. They could maybe find their way into the second spot in Group B. It's like a Rubik's Cube. There's Clark backing in, a little too much leverage on Lee. And we'll go the other way. Seen some dramatic come from behind so far in target score time yesterday, but the margin was a lot slimmer. 2-goal deficit max. That's where it gets tough. Playing catch up, and then you're trying to play in wide open spaces where it's anyone's guess with how the field opens up when you start peeling off players. Burgoyne. It's Clark. He'll take it back to Stearman. And now Sacco. A hat trick could end it. A fingertip from Mois keeps the game going. Fantastic save. Sacco looking like he's in mid-season form. Clark is curling that for Sacco. Some assistance helping Oakley. Pando breaking out, trying to sneak that through to Stoke. Stoke repelling off Hodnett, who took a heavy hit in the middle. Clark continues on. It was play on. Stoke. Oakley. Olienge cut that out for Wolves, and now they're coming upfield looking for the fifth. Blade and Grass Vieita. Next goal wins in their match. Suspense is palpable in Group B. Sacco. Every opportunity he gets, trying to put a bow on it. And Clark meddling in the middle and crossing things up with Lee, who wants to shake hands. Card comes out. Clark doesn't want to hear it. Slivered across on that ball that goes back to midfield. The 5 minutes before players come off here in target score time is kept by the referee. First 1 to 5 wins. Wolves could have hope, but even if they win, they need Blade and Grass to in the same capacity. That took a ride off Oakley. This is a Bakari Sacco mixtape right now. Basically doing whatever he wants. Even winning by 4. Which is commendable. Will do Wolves little if Blade and Grass does not win. They're going to call Stearman. There is no slide tackling, remember. That's a good example of it. And DMV made sure it was called. Stoke, Burgoyne. That was roped right down the middle. Lee is fouled, and now we're going to take a player off a side. So from 7-on-7 to 6-on-6. That's Steve Nash playing. We've got Chris Paul watching. He's enjoying the Sacco show. Stearman.
Group B action on field 5.
Ishmael gave Wolves the crucial fourth goal.
Target score time, and that won it next.
He wanted the fifth. KG affair, Blade and Grass, Villita.
Wolves leads DMV Diplomats 4-1. Target score 5.
Wondering which game will end first and what the results of it will be to see the two teams advancing out of Group B.
Field 4. DMV Diplomats and
Hando pops it over. Diplomats trying to take it up a notch. They need 4 goals. First to 5 wins. 3 in the last 10 minutes for Wolverhampton. And Munoz going to chop that shot. Onienge now trying to get back and defend on Stoke.
On Stadium Field 2.
And the foul comes right outside
of
the penalty area.
United FC.
Onienge going to take the caution. Or is he pointing in the direction of Stearman? Either way.
Don't forget to check out soccer.com.
Third caution issued
here at TST.
here in this
For all of
Group
your exclusive event
Group
merchandise
B
as
third
well as
match.
team gear. Soccer.com on the premises today. Pick up exclusive TST gear, shirts, hats, and more.
Miroslav
A variety of
Stock.
colors.
He, like Sacco, can hit screamers and pulled it wide.
Also a number of food trucks on the premises. Get yourself taken care of there. Food and drinks on offer.
I want that back.
Long Dam Soccer, plenty of fun to be had. Food and
Zele
drinks
Ishmael.
and merch available as well. Exclusive TST merch from soccer.com on site.
Onienge. Kari Sacco getting a breather right now for Wolves. 5-on-5. That's going to hit the bar. Stoke follows it up. DMV with life. 4-2. Miroslav Stoke, 5th goal in the group stages. And Burgoyne felt he positioned himself ready to make that stop. A little misfortune with the deflection off the crossbar. And both DMV goals have come that way with help from the frame. Hodnet. Hodnet glides along and Wolves takes it. Academy ascension for the 20-year-old. DMV's goal in target score time throws a dent. Wolves by 3. Blade and Grass just went victorious. It's a 4-goal differential. It was 3 with Villita and Wolves at the bottom. And DMV, which falls to 1 and 2, and an even goal differential, might still go through. But Wolves took the head-to-head. And a three-way scenario may come to fruition. So we'll sort it out. But enthralling stuff. Jack Hodnet gets the game winner in target score time. 5-2. Wolves get their first win in the competition. DMV is 1 and 2. Villita 1 and 2. Wolves 1 and 2. So B&G takes the group. You've got a 3-way situation that needs to be sorted out for second place here in Group B.
kicking off at 11 a.m. between Hapoel Tel Aviv of the Israeli
DMV,
as they face SLC,
which beat Viita.
That's at 11 a.m.
Viita beat Wolves, and Wolves beat DMV,
Also has an 11
which
a.m.
would, in theory, take you to the second tiebreaker.
Liga MX.
DMV, an even goal differential.
11 a.m. on field 4. Hapoel Tel Aviv.
Wolves at -1, Viita would be -2, and DMV, just trying to do the math, might still be all right.
And again, if you want to make your way over to the stadium,
There's a look
right
at
now,
Group B, not updated. That's just through the first two matches, but Blade and Grass and DMV in that situation where you can see Wolves jumping ahead 2, 3, and 4, all victorious against one another, because head-to-head is the first tiebreaker here in the TST, then goal differential. And the Diplomats, what a massive goal that became from Stoke in target score time. And looks like it's going to provide the difference to move on to the knockout rounds here in Cary, North Carolina. Catch your breath. It's only game one of the day to conclude the group stages. All to play for in the soccer tournament. Wolves a winner, but they're headed out. And Blade and Grass